Hey, welcome to Planet Hex. I'm Andrew Horton. This is a show where I talk about a lot of VHS tapes, a lot of retro movies, cult stuff, comics, games, music, the writing life, all the stuff that makes up Planet Hex. It's the only planet I've got, so this is how I'm living it. So this video, I'm going to talk about, ex-rental 80s VHS tapes, because why not? So, before I get to that main subject, a couple of things to cover. I am currently working on vhsatemybrain 2, which is open in another tab here, so that is well underway. As a result, I'm coming off social media somewhat, so I've come off my Facebook and Instagram and things like that. I've definitely come off Twitter. Just no, and that sort of thing. So I'll be scaling back my personal usage of social media quite considerably while I'm working on vhsatemybrain 2, because I want to get that book out and want to get that finished and out to you for the 10th of March 2024, which will be the 10th anniversary of the original version of vhsatemybrain, not the revised one, but the original, the one that I did in 2014. And it's really shaping up well. I'm really enjoying writing it. So stick with me. There will be some videos coming to the channel still. So I want to keep that going because this is so fun. I need, I'm going to talk to my people when I'm doing these things, so that's fine. But they will be one a week. It won't be like every few days as it's been over the last few weeks, because I just want to focus on getting this book done and making it as good as I possibly can for you, and a worthy successor, a worthy continuation of what I started with vhsatemybrain and carried on with vhsatemybrain revised edition. So thank you very much for that. And there's some cool stuff coming related to that book and that project that's not just book related, but more about that another time. So yeah, I will be coming off social media largely until after the new year, if I can, if I don't fall down the rabbit hole of getting the apps again. But I've taken the apps off my phone. There's apart from Messenger, which I used to contacting like my parents, all the social media has come off my phone, and I feel liberated. I feel refreshed. So I struggle with all the notifications I get, and I think delving into retro pop culture and physical media is the way forward while I'm writing this new book. You see, that's a great segue there. I'm proud of that. So on tonight's episode of Planet Hex, I'm going to go and look at some ex-rental 80s videos. I'm not going to go and look at just horror. I'm just going to look at 80s ex-rental VHS tapes, because we need a weekly look at what's going on over on eBay with the prices of these things and the availability of these things, and see what's out there. So I did go to a gig last week, as you may have seen. I put like a compilation of live clips up from some bands I'm friends with. That's Chaos Bleak and Rome Burns, and there was a great headliner in Incubus Succubus who I've not seen before, and they've been around the various scenes that I'm part of for many years. So it was great to see those live finally. Requiem was a really great event, run really well by brilliant people, great turnout. Superb bands, fantastic venue. It was at Rough Trade here in Nottingham, upstairs. Didn't realise that Rough Trade has such a cool venue upstairs. So much space, great sound and everything like that. I do recommend it. I'm very on brand. I'm matching the mug and the shirt tonight. So yeah, I'm going to go and look at some ex-rental VHS tapes and see what those are going for. So let's go and do that right now, shall we? So the search I've put in here is just ex-rental 80s VHS. So with ex-rental it should pull through the big box ones, but I know there's going to be some mass market ones, there's going to be some smaller clamshells, there's going to be some weird stuff. Let's see what we can find. The first one there is the stuff. It's the stuff. I'm not really shopping for tapes tonight, by the way. I'm just checking stuff out. So I like to have a hangout. I like to go and see what these prices are doing, because this, beyond the Facebook groups, which I can't really show on the channel because of all the people's names. I don't want to show people's names if they don't want to be part of things, and also a lot of the groups are members only, so they're not like publicly visible. So I don't want to step on anyone's toes doing that. So sticking to eBay for the time being, but we'll be back on Facebook Marketplace and Amazon and stuff like that in the new year, no doubt, or before the new year. Who knows? Who knows where the mood may take me? So the first things I see here is a stuff. That's cool. There's a Masters of the Universe X-Run. I'm not sure if that's 30 quid yet. Not quite yet. Well, it does have 15 watches on it. £30 buy it now seems a bit much. Maybe 15 for that. Maybe 15, but there's a nice Fright Night there. I've been reading the book Wild and Crazy Guys still about the how the 80s comedy mavericks changed Hollywood forever. So it's people like Eddie Murphy and Chevy Chase and Bill Murray, John Belushi and stuff like that, and it's fascinating, absolutely fascinating. So it's got me in the mood to go and look for some of the stuff I used to see in the video stores. Although I do quite like that one there, the 8 small box, big box, X-Rental Horror Thriller VHS Bundle Job Lot 80s 90s. That's quite a title there. £45 for those. Let's see. The Rage Carry 2 cost me 99p, so that's not that great. Dream Demons in there, Class of Nukem High, and Class of Nukem High 2, which you see a lot less. And the weird cardboard fold-out version of A Clockwork Orange when that came out. And there's a Redemption movie in there, but let's focus on the big box ones. That's Big Trouble in Little China. However, that is a small box. That's not what I'm after. I want the ones that were rented. Oh, there's Brewster's Millions there. Not to everyone's taste. Starring Richard Pryor and John Candy, but I love that movie. I really love that movie. My wife bought me a DVD copy of it to cheer me up once because she knew I loved that movie and wanted to brighten my day, and she did that, as she does every day, in fact, you know. Oh, there's The Hidden. That's cool. AWOL. I remember AWOL being quite an event when that came out, as well as Hard Target, but AWOL was one of the ones that everyone was talking about at the time when that came out, the Van Damme movie. He was on a roll with stuff like that then. He was in a really good period for that. Oh, Monster Squad, that is a classic of the rental era. Vindicator as well. Vindicator is one of those movies that I believe got a lot of rentals just through having a really cool cover. We're going to go and have a look at that as well. Empire of Ash. One of those like far future, or is it the past? Post-apocalyptic style action movies. You can't go wrong with that. What else have we got here? Class of 1984, but that's a cut cover. Screwball Academy, no thank you. I'm in the mood for things like Meatballs and Stripes after revisiting Animal House recently and of course reading this book. So I'm in the mood for some comedy stuff that I did used to rent. It was always something like a comedy movie and a genre movie like horror or sci-fi. Whenever I went to Metro Video in Mailing Bridge back in Sheffield where I'm from, I would always make sure I'd get like a comedy and a horror or a sci-fi, something like that, just to break the night up. Seen a couple of copies of this Ghoulies Entertainment in Video edition, which was it's a beautiful tape. 35 seems a bit much for it. The Chilling is one that came up, not in video stores for me, not in the stores that I used to go to, but The Chilling used to come up on a market stall I visited, so I did write about that in the original book. There was a market stall between Castle and the Sheaf Market, the two old markets that were in the Sheffield City Centre. There used to be an outdoor one, I think it was on a Wednesday, and there was a stall there that would sell me $1.99 horror tapes, even though I was clearly underage. They didn't care at the time. Not particularly proud of it, not advocating it, but that's what they did, and I wanted my fix of horror stuff, and I bought The Chilling because it was it looked like horror. I should have got it from it being a 15, that it wasn't really going to push my buttons in terms of gore or scares or 80s-ness, you know. Japanese version of the final chapter, Friday the 13th Part 4, that's pretty cool. It's Intruder. I had 2 copies of Intruder, and each one cost me 10p. There's someone has got it up there on for £49 or best offer, with free postage, so yeah, still £49. I think I need to get out of the mindset that these things cost me so little. So back in like 2011 or so, when I was big into my main era of VHS collecting, where I was finding stuff all over the place, in car boot sales, in charity shops, in little corner shops, I was finding tapes everywhere, and they were so dirt cheap. They would just come home with me, and I ended up with a huge collection with some quite valuable stuff in there, but it wasn't all Wasn't all the best stuff, but you know, it made me really happy. So that's why I kept hold of it. But think I need to get out of the mindset that these things cost me 10p, 25p, a pound, that sort of thing, because they're not going to do that anymore. In fact, I am starting a chapter on the death of hunting for VHS in the wild in the UK, because it does seem to have come to a close. When I do find tapes around now, it's almost solely Disney tapes. I have found some recently, but they have been Disney tapes, and that doesn't interest me at all, unfortunately. Red Scorpion was a fun one. Venom on a roadshow. That's pretty cool. Oh, it's from Australia. No wonder I've not seen that edition. Fury of the Dragon. That doesn't sound right. Cannibal Fever. That was fun. That was fun. A lot of these things haven't aged well, but neither have I. Another copy of Empire of Ash. Everyone wanted to get rid of that movie for some reason. Year of the Comet. Blue Jean Cop. I remember that coming out and being a big deal on the rental market. I'm not sure if it ever came out of the cinema, to be honest. I'm not sure about that, but I remember it being all over the adverts for stuff. So I'll open that up. WrestleMania 10. Cool. That's from Australia. I'm just focusing on the UK tapes. What else have we got here? Late for Dinner. I don't recognise that one. Never heard of that. Fire, Ice and Dynamite. That sounds like... And it's got Roger Moore in it, that one. That sounds like it is just solely a Bond spin-off. A lot of Australian ones. I'm just going to switch this to UK. Let's do that. Let's switch it to UK. There it is. Now, where were we, my friends? Where were we? See, I just saw there's Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I still can't bring to show my kids that film because it scarred me. It scarred me, that movie. It was crazy. Just like the whole atmosphere in it. Not just the scene with the melting eyes. It wasn't just about that. But there was a lot of stuff in that film that just messed me up at the time. She-Ra. I need to do something on 80s cartoons. I still haven't. I said I would recently. I still haven't done one on looking at the tapes for that. I looked at a bunch of stuff on the Internet Archive about it. But I'm taking a break from the Internet Archive as well, as I got stuck in a terrible rabbit hole on there recently. Let's do X-Rental Comedy VHS. See if I get some of the comedy movies up. Ghostbusters. Very timely with the trailer for Frozen Empire coming out. It's a really good trailer. I do recommend checking it out. I have high hopes for that. Sundown, The Vampire in Retreat. That was 1990. We'll take a look at that anyway. Don't tell anyone. Ooh, Motel Hell on Warner. That looks cool. Pickup Artist. The first time I saw Robert Downey Jr. and Molly Ringwald in something that wasn't a John Hughes movie. Let's get that opened up. And what else have we got? We've got Gooders Scottish College. We see that around a fair bit at the moment. Do you ever wonder why you ended up watching stuff? I watched City Slickers back in the day, and I remember not minding it. But now I don't think I would watch it now. Strange how tastes change. I think then it was just that I was so glad to be watching anything, because I was so obsessed with movies. And to be honest, I still am. There's several every week from every era. Black and white movies from the 30s onwards, 80s movies, something new. There's always so much going on. I don't think I'll ever get tired of them, and I'm really grateful for that. Really grateful for that. not loads coming up there. Okay, let's try. Next rental, 80s sci-fi VHS. Solar Warriors. And of course we've got the classics like Star Trek 2 there. There's Time Barbarians. That's an American tape though. I no longer have a multi-region VHS player. I used to, and I do miss it. And Assassin. That sounds fun. Oh, what's this one with a cool cover? Lorca and the Outlaws. With Toya Wilcox. That's worth a look. Right, let's check out some of the stuff we've got open here. So, of course, there's Brewster's Millions. Let's have a look at this. That is a great movie. About the guy having to spend a fortune in order to get a fortune. And I saw it on TV once. I saw it on TV a couple of times, actually, and on rental. And yeah, my wife got me the DVD of it, and it was great to revisit it. It's not the funniest film from either of their careers, from either Richard Pryor or John Candy, but it is well worth a watch. The Hidden. This is a great sci-fi movie with a really simple premise and some really creepy visuals, but a lot of it gets by on atmosphere. It's got Kyle MacLachlan in it. It's got Claudia Christian in it. There's some great casting in it. But there's a really fun sort of invasion of the body snatchers and like pre-X-Files sort of thing going on there. Hugely recommend The Hidden if you've never seen it. Great film. Monster Squad, that always seemed to be around in the rental stores, and it always seemed to do well, even well into the 90s. It's like a decade or more after it came out. It always did well because it's such a great premise and a great film. A lot of fun to watch that one. So here's the one, the Vindicator that I mentioned, that had a really cool cover. Rented it. It was fine. It was watchable, but it didn't quite live up to the awesomeness of that cover. I mean, nothing really could. Seemed like the Wraith similarly had a great cover and just a terrible payoff. Ghoulies. This is going for like 30 quid. This is going up. I've seen some various prices lately, but that is definitely going up in price. But great film. Great film. I love it that the scene with the toilet had to be added afterwards, because it didn't actually feature in the movie originally, but it was such a great visual for the poster. As far as I understand, they had to go back and shoot a new scene with the ghoulie in the toilet. So Empire of Ash. Let's have a look at this because this looks so fun. From the ashes of Armageddon, healthy survivors struggle to outrun a band of survivors infested with the great virus. Yeah, right up my street, sort of Mad Max sort of gear. I'm up for that. It's £35, so I'm not really up for that price, but I am going to have to go and revisit that film. I'm not sure if I have actually seen that. I think I have, but I have seen a lot of post-apocalyptic movies. There was The Chilling, which had... Is that felt tip? No, that's not felt tip, but it's just like a rubber stamp. But yeah, I remember getting that and thinking, oh, it could be good. It's a horror movie. It looks kind of creepy. It was toss. Never trust a movie that has no pictures on the back. Look at the state of that. Just what does it look like? Is it black and white? Is it color? Is it performed entirely by rubber chickens? Who knows? So Blue Jean Cop, solid action movie. Peter Weller out of the RoboCop armor, good fun. Ghostbusters. Look at that thing of beauty. One of the most wonderful films I've ever seen. Some wear to the cover there. It always confused me though why the Ghostbusters logo is that way around, but on all the suits and all the figures and all the merchandise, it faces the other way. But it's a small thing, but it's one of those things you notice when you're a massive nerd. So let's have a look at the condition this is in. I can say there are some marks on there, but it's Ghostbusters. I can forgive it a lot. It's an RCA Columbia box, so I'm not sure if that is the original RCA Columbia box. It doesn't have the same damage matching the sleeve. That's a good looking tape. That's a cool looking tape. I love the RCA ones that had the red strip on the back. Those are cool. Sundown, solid rental. Not one that's going to change your world, but it was fun. Recommended viewing. I love these Warner ones. Let's take a look at this Warner tape. Motel Hell's a fun film. Yeah, the old Warner tapes that had the cast list on the back. There was only ever like a couple of stills on, but they always had the cast list on the back, and it all looked pretty cool. But it was the squishy cases; those are great. I see collections online where the people have got rows and rows of Warners, and they just look so good in that uniform, same style, you know. So yeah, Pickup Artist, one of those movies that has not aged well. You know, because Robert Downey Jr.'s character in this is a misogynistic, chauvinist who just goes around picking up women. He's quite vapid and vacuous and empty-headed, but then he runs into Molly Ringwald and things start to change for him. Could it be that he's really found someone special? Of course he has. It's Molly Ringwald. I mean, come on, dude. But she still had some making up to do after Pretty in Pink came out with the wrong ending. But that's a story for another time. I should talk about Pretty in Pink at some point. Solar Warriors looks amazing. That's a great looking cover. Again, we're in for some post-apocalyptic action there. Look at that. Pointless armor with like bare muscles showing. The armor serves no purpose. It's got Jamie Gertz, Jason Patrick, Lucas Haas, Richard Jordan. Fun. I love post-apocalyptic films. Love them. And it was a great way in the 90s to keep a steady diet of sci-fi going because they were clearly cheap to make. So I love this because it has a terrible cover. You know? He's a desperate, ruthless killer, and he's virtually indestructible. And you can bet that shot is not in the movie. They've not even put an image of the back on there. And it's PG, so how hardcore is that going to be? Really. So Lorca and the Outlaws, this is the one with Toya in it. I love the art here because it's got all this sort of synthwave, vaporwave color scheme going on, and I am mad into that sort of aesthetic. Again, it's a PG, but who else is in this? Let's have a look. So, starring John Tarrant, Deep Roy, Donna Reese, Cassandra Webb. Okay, fair enough. And it's got songs performed by Peter Gabriel and Toya Wilcox. Is Toya in it or not? But that does look great. That looks really cool. Far into the future on the desert planet Odessa, a legend is being born. I bet it is. It's here that the robots have begun their reign over mankind, but one man, Lorca, and his young band of rebels have escaped the robots and will find a way to free their world. This is cool. Oh, it's worrying about human workforce soon to be replaced by robots. Nice bit of prediction there, the people that made that movie. But that is a good looking tape. I like that. However, it's one of those with only minimal images on the back, but it does seem to have a really cool aesthetic. So that's what's going on in the world of VHS tapes on eBay at the moment. It's again a mixed bag, but there's it's very cool to see these things out there. Yes, I'm just bidding on that because that looks amazing, and it's nice to see that there's some variety in the X-Rental stuff. I would like to see more 80s comedy ones. Might get a list of titles together and look at a bunch of those with you sometime. That would be cool. But it's always good to check out what is going on in this lovely niche hobby that I enjoy with you all. I look forward to doing it again soon. But as I say, these videos will be weekly from now until at least the new year, because I'm working on vhsatemybrain 2 as hard as I possibly can, because I want to make it as good as I possibly can for you guys that have been so kind to read the original one and the revised version, and to share your stories with me from all over the world. It's been really cool for a decade now, coming up on a decade, and I'm so grateful for that. So that's what I'm focusing on. So these videos will still be coming out, but they will be weekly rather than every few days as I've been doing them. But I do appreciate everyone being here, and I do really enjoy making these still. It's great fun. I look forward to doing it again for you soon. But please do like and subscribe so you can keep up to date with what's coming out each week. And you know, share a video if you like. Don't want to do the YouTube thing where it's like and subscribe and share and and subscribe for part 2. That winds me up. So I'm not doing that. But do all that stuff if you want. It's up to you. I don't mind. I do this for the enjoyment of it and for sharing some nerdiness with you guys, and it's always fun to do. So I am Andrew Horn. This is Planet Hex, and thank you very much for watching.